and we're going to begin. Awesome, awesome. So let me, first of all, again, just say thank you. Thank you for making the time to be with us. This webinar is going to run about 40 minutes, and I'm going to finish all my presentation around 30. So if you've got to jump after 30, that's totally fine. But I've allocated about 10 minutes or so for any questions that you may have. Feel free, though, to throw your questions into the chat box. I will tackle them after the presentation. And then, of course, just to respect one another and the people that are going to be coming in, let's make sure that we stay on mute until the end, just so that we can move things forward. So, what are we trying to accomplish today? What's the goal of our time together? Well, number one, I want you to understand how LinkedIn will boost your school's enrollment, how it will help you to have a greater imprint in terms of your community, and of course, helping you reach your own specific goals. And of course, today's also about understanding how digital consultants can help you to stand out and succeed using various social media platforms, and of course today being the focus of LinkedIn. And then finally, we want you to be able to get a lot of different takeaways from today's presentation, so you can just start running with it. You don't have to wait on us. You can reach out to us in terms of follow-up, or you can start to begin to implement some of the things that we're going to show you, because I believe it's really going to be a blessing that's going to help you in terms of what you want to accomplish. Okay, and so let me first of all talk about LinkedIn. And did you know in 2020 LinkedIn's overall revenue was just over $8 billion? Yeah, that's huge. And also, did you know that as of the end of 2022, the average LinkedIn user has an income more than 2,000 US dollars above the national median? What does that tell you? That tells you that you might find the specific target market for your schools. Christian parents, individuals who can actually help you, rather you can help them to connect their kids to the right school. And of course, that being your own, and of course, you having that specific niche, whether you're a high school, whether you offer, some kind of baccalaureate program, maybe you're in a Montessori or your classical education, being able to target the right people. So we believe LinkedIn is going to help you with that. Okay. All right. So let's begin. And forgive me, I hear some people in the background, so don't mind me. I'm going to mute everybody. I still love you. I just want to make sure that we can move forward. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about what we want to cover. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today is 7 steps to getting started on your LinkedIn profile. We're going to show you step by step. I've got a quick video around that. Number 2, I want you to understand how to optimize impact. And so we're going to talk about 3 pillars that's going to help you to be successful in maximizing how effective your LinkedIn page will look like. Number 3, I want to show you how you can tailor content for your complex audience. Everyone's a little different and they've got different needs. And so we want to make effective ways in terms of content creation so that it would be specific to your audience while being appropriate on LinkedIn. And then finally, we're going to talk about, the untold, the LinkedIn algorithm in terms of how to engage it faster. That's primarily with working with, credible companies like ourselves. All right. So let's talk about LinkedIn a little bit. How is this going to be a game changer, whether it be for your Christian school or maybe for an organization, you're a Christian organization, and when you want to utilize LinkedIn? Well, number one, it is one of the most trusted social media platforms. At the end of 2021, for the 5th year in a row, it ranked number 1 in terms of social media social media pages that are trusted online, and that's through eMarketing Digital Trust Benchmark. But of course, in addition to that, you've got people utilizing it for the purposes of purchasing products and services. People trust it in terms of recommendation of companies, whether they've worked there, whether they currently work there. Then, of course, we have it for the purpose of networking within, your profession, your industry, and becoming what you can say is thought leaders in that area. And then, of course, we've got it in terms of finding new quality talent. People, I think the statistic is about 1,000 job applications are submitted every second of the day on LinkedIn. That's how popular LinkedIn is in terms of finding quality talent. And so you want to become a thought leader. You want to stand out in that area, especially for people that are looking for the right organization. Number two, SEO and its integration with Google is one of LinkedIn's primary reasons why people use LinkedIn. If you are trying to integrate your school with better SEO, note that LinkedIn and having a strong LinkedIn page, anytime somebody types in your school, it will be one of the top 5 searches. Your LinkedIn page will actually pop up on Google, and this is one of the reasons why it can really help you in terms of making a major impact. Number 3, LinkedIn has a very high number of user engagers. It launched in 2003, but today, or rather I should say at the end of 2022, they have over 830 million monthly active users. Wow, that's massive. And by the way, 61 million of those users are senior positions, people that are, CEOs or, financial officers, or maybe just directors. So we've got a lot of people that we have access to. We want to get in front of the right people. Number 4, LinkedIn is among the most visited websites in the world. Of course, among the top 10 social media sites visited, and we can talk about that, exhaustively. And then number 5, it's a great place to find or to build rather a personal or professional brand quickly. Niche companies, industry influencers, they're finding their voice actually more so now than ever. LinkedIn's new algorithm has really helped propel community, industry related leaders and thought leaders, and not just, big companies, not just big time influencers. And so you can find your space on LinkedIn, and it's going to be pretty awesome. All right, let's do something quickly right now. I want us to go to our first quick poll, giving everybody about 30 seconds. I want you to take an opportunity right now and just complete the poll that's on your screen. I'm going to go ahead and launch it. Let's take about 30 seconds. I'm going to take a sip of water. As I mentioned, for some of you that are just coming in late, please do us a favor, click mute on your Zoom so that we don't hear you chomping away at your lunch. But also take advantage of the chat box. Throw any questions in there. We're going to be finished right at 12:30, and we'll be able to start taking questions at that point. All right. So let's see if there's any other individuals going to throw in. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Everybody sort of answered in there. So let me share the results. The question was, do you think you'll start and increase the use of LinkedIn? And everybody said yes. And so that's phenomenal. That's a great place to be. You're in the right webinar. And that's really our heartbeat today. We want to make sure that everybody on the call, if you haven't started already, you start today. I mean, don't wait for tomorrow. No, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. We want to make sure that we start utilizing it. And if you're already on LinkedIn, I think the next little bit of information is going to be very valuable for you. So here we're going to start to talk about how to set up your school page on LinkedIn. Now, before we get into the little fine print, I want to actually use a better video so that we can actually take advantage of something I think that's a little more valuable. So give me a quick second here. I'm going to access a video that I have on file, and I think this will be a better clip. It's done by our CEO, and she's phenomenal. Let me just throw this up on, there we go. All right, and I just also want to make sure that I've shared, shared sound, perfect. And so here's a quick video to sort of walk us through how to set it up And so let's take a look.
In order to create
Oh, sorry about that. Let me refresh. Technical difficulties. The guy behind the camera doesn't know what he's doing. No, I'm joking. I do know what I'm doing. Hold on. We'll just refresh that page.
I like the photo.
All right, here we go. Let's try that again. Thank you everybody again for your patience. There we go. And I just want to press. Great. All right, let's try it again.
In order to create a new page, you come into your home page and then you click on under this small drop down. After you click the small drop down, you will see create a company page. And you click on create company page.
That bigger.
And then you select for business, you select company. For education, for schools, you select education institution. When you click the education institution, you will be asked to complete these forms, and you complete this form to your best of ability. If you don't know how to complete this form or you want to know what's the best way to complete it, check out our creating a great profile, a winning profile on LinkedIn checklist, and that will help you make sure you got all the key items in there. And then you click, this will get activated once you do that. So I'm just going to put test here, and then here I'm gonna hold on. You know what? I'm gonna put a name, Faith School Today, and then you can put your school website. You can put that this is education, elementary, secondary, post-secondary school. You can put the size. You can upload a logo on there, and this is very crucial to have a tagline. And then all you do is press create page, and that will create your page. That's it.
Okay, awesome. So what are we basically trying to show you? We're trying to show you that if you haven't started already, being able to create your own page is very simple. So let me just go back to where we were. Creating your own page is very simple, and it's going to be very cost effective for you, because of course you can do it yourself. If you were to bring us on, we don't just create the page for you. What we do is we actually put in together a lot of the other things I'm going to be talking about in a moment. So what you can do is you can basically get started, and it's going to be very useful for you as you're building out your own page, right? That's the whole idea. We want to be able to build out our own page and get started as quickly as possible. But let me go back to our page there that talks about how to set up the page. So the first thing is that we want to go to the work icon. There, we actually select create a company page. Now, what does that mean? That means you've got to use your own personal profile. So the ideal person for this will either be your school's website management person, media person, social media person. It would be ideal for them to be setting it up, or the principal, okay? If you've got a teacher that does it, it can get a little bit of a challenge, in terms of if that person's role changes quite a bit. So just keep that in mind. Then once you've done it, you want to make sure that you complete certain sections. So make sure that it's set up as a company, make sure that it's showcased a page, and then of course, make sure that you're choosing educational institution. After that, you enter in your page identity, your company, your institution details, and your profile details, as Jen briefly just sort of whipped through. It's just that little form page. And then of course, check the verification box to confirm that you have the right to act on behalf of the company or the school, and then create the page. Really cool. And you'll start to receive, if you receive an error message, you can use our creating a page, which I'm going to show you in a moment, to actually utilize any troubleshooting that you need. We've got a lot of great content that's free on our website. And so Christian School Marketing, you'll find that it's very helpful in terms of trying to figure out some of these things yourself. And then don't forget, LinkedIn's got a ton of resources, a database in itself that can help you in terms of setting those things up as well. All right, and then you can click start building your page. And then the great thing about LinkedIn is it walks you through page by page by page. Now, we've got a myriad of people that are on the call today. Some of you need that kind of support. That's what we're here for. You can choose working with digital consultants. We'll help to put together a very professional page to help you with it. And some of you are a little more hands-on and you can sort of tackle it yourself. And so utilize the step-by-step. And of course, you can utilize our troubleshooting so that you can get started yourself. All right. Now, how do you make your page stand out? We have 3 pillars at Digital Consultants that we believe is very important for major impact, especially as we're talking about LinkedIn profiles. And so you want to stand out effectively. You don't want to just create the page and hope people come by. It's just like opening up a storefront. You don't want to just paint the walls and say, okay, come on in, right? You want to make sure that it's conducive. So number 1, you want to have page optimization. And then we'll talk about page optimization in a moment. Number 2, we want to talk about storytelling and why that is important in terms of drawing in the right audience. And then finally, we'll get to that. But number 3, let's first talk about creating a profile banner. Now, why is it important for us to be talking about a profile banner? Well, it's the first thing people see, and it's the first way to engage your potential audience, right? And so you want to have a winning banner. And so there's 4 areas in terms of how to make sure that your banner is very effective. And so please take some notes. This might be helpful for you if you're going to go tackle your own LinkedIn page. You can get started. Number 1 is to ensure your banner photo is clear. We want to avoid bland designs, dark colors, or even poor quality files, right? We want to make sure that what we're choosing is a high quality banner picture, right? And of course, a face, maybe it's going to be your school logo or whatever it is, your company logo. You want to make sure that it's a strong image. And then, of course, you want to make sure that it's bright and it's attractive. Don't think that people understand what your logo means. Sometimes we sort of mistaken that, right? We want to make sure that it's engaging, but of course, the picture must be very attractive. B, because we're on LinkedIn, script is very important. So you want to make sure that your banner itself includes a catchy value of the school. Using your banner to promote your value is one of the best ways to encourage followers, as well as have your content ingested, right? You want to make sure that people are going to continue reading on your LinkedIn page. You don't want to be like, oh, it's not apparent, so it's not a big deal. No. We understand that LinkedIn is a community. And so people are going to talk about your page. They're going to say, hey, I was looking for a principal, and funny enough, a Christian school came up. I was looking for a different kind of principal. I was looking for a controller, but that came up. And so you should check out this school, right? You always want to make sure it speaks to the value as people are viewing your page. Okay, it's going to encourage them to move down the page. The next one there is showing the benefits to your audience. Now, in this case, it's our parents, and so we want to make sure that the banner has benefits that call out the client. Now, this is not just text, ladies and gentlemen. This is also the pictures we choose. Sometimes we think, oh, it's great that we have a picture of a bunch of kids playing, on our website. But what are you trying to convey? For instance, maybe you're a Montessori school. You're not just going to have the kids playing in the background, with their uniforms. You might actually have them hands-on with some of the games that actually help stimulate their education, right? And so that's what you want to promote. Maybe you're part of a high school. Well, a high school picture is going to look very different than an elementary school picture, right? You might want to show the campus. You might want to show graduating students to enforce the fact that you've got a high graduating rate, all those kinds of things, or even maybe just an engaged classroom. So these are ways to show the benefits to the parents, in addition to actually talking through the benefits. All right. And then finally, D is the showcasing of the school's credibility, its authority, as a school. And so there you want to, promote and also, capture some of the things like your accolades, maybe achievements. For instance, maybe there's a logo, you're, top of the ACSI, you've got, awards in terms of, 2 years running, top school in York Region, whatever it is. Your banner should also capture some of that because it's going to draw people into your page. All right. Now, number 2 is all about storytelling, and that's where you're going to put information in your about us or your summary section. This is where you're going to talk about your school. And so here you want to write a headline that speaks to your value and benefits to the audience. All right. Now, storytelling is a way of marketing your school or your business, in terms of where your client is today. Where are those parents? Maybe they're part of a public education board and they're unhappy with some of the social, economic, cultural, political, things that are going on. Maybe they're just not happy with the level of education that they're getting. So that's where they are today. And so that storytelling needs to take them from where they are today to where their kids are now enrolled and admitted into your school. And so you want to address some of the concerns. And so you want to create this story. And we help with that because of us being previously story branded. We have this opportunity to talk through a little bit of a story to help highlight the parent, right? The audience as the hero. Right? People think that your school is the hero. No, your school's not the hero. The audience member, the person making the decision to work with you is the hero. And so why are they the hero? Because they use your school. They choose your school to submit their kids to so that they can increase their education, benefit their actual futures in terms of the kind of people that they integrate with, the kind of level of education that is provided. Maybe you're part of a niche, like I mentioned in the past, maybe you do classical education, whatever it is. You are highlighting in that blurb, that summary section, all those benefits and values that will make the parent a hero, right? And every parent wants to make sure that their kid goes off to higher education. And so you have that opportunity to articulate that in your LinkedIn summary section. B, show the problem the school is solving. And so that speaks to what I've already talked about. C, build credibility and authority. This is very important. Talk about your value in the community. Talk about what you have accomplished. Talk about the number of kids that you have had in the number of years that you've been open. Whatever it is that you can pull out. If you're brand new, talk about the strength of your staff and how their background is going to make the parents make the right choice to enrolling their kids. And then D, have a call to action. And this is one of the areas that we fail to do sometimes. We fail to have a proper call to action, right? To engage parents. We always want them to, whether it is to provide their details, contact us, whether it is to join your own education seminar, maybe highlighting the school and what they do. Always have a call to action in your LinkedIn page so that they can get moving. All right. And then the third pillar, well, we just don't have time to go through it all. But what I've done is I've created a checklist that you can actually take out your phone right now. Go right ahead and take out your phone. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen. It will take you to download our LinkedIn profile checklist, which is our list of things that completely help you to optimize your page. And so we talk about a lot of different things, going back to some of the things that we said. For instance, making sure that you've completed all the steps, not leaving any of them blank. What are some ways you can fill out information if you don't have all the information in terms of speaking to your school's credibility, all those kinds of things. So take a moment right now, scan that. And as you do that, I want to throw up another poll. And if you would be so kind, we'll give you another 30 seconds. I want you to share with us, how often do you post content on LinkedIn if you're currently using LinkedIn? How often do you post content on LinkedIn if you're using LinkedIn? So if you can tackle that, I'm going to give you guys about 20 more seconds. Hopefully you see the poll. Give me a thumbs up if you see the poll, because I don't see anybody answering it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna close this poll down because one of two things is the case. Either you don't see the poll or none of you none of you actually utilize content posting. So maybe I'll, okay, no poll visible. Okay, so let's try that again. I'm gonna stop sharing. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's try it again. Just go back to my screen. There we go. Okay, and now let's go ahead and share the poll. So let me relaunch the poll. All right. And now people are answering. Thank you so much. Sorry about that, everybody. All right, fantastic. All right, let's give it only 15 seconds because I don't want to waste any more time. We're coming close to the end of the presentation here. Okay, now as you're completing that, I want to really just recap some of the most important things about making an effective LinkedIn page. Number one, as you're building out your LinkedIn page, you want to make sure that you are building authority. You know, one of the things that a lot of schools fail to realize is parents want you to tell them what's important. Don't dilly-dally around it. Don't be shy about it. You know, we're all, you know, myself personally, you know, I'm a Christian, and I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, are Christians because this is a Christian education seminar. You know, but what we tend to do is we tend to sort of pitter-patter around having to really speak to what's important, what's key, why they should do it. You know, since the pandemic, there has been such an influx in North America of parents pulling their kids out of public school into private Christian education. And it has been phenomenal, especially here in Canada. A lot of the clients that we worked at, we have seen almost double in enrollment in terms of what has happened because they were effectively marketing their school to a need, especially right now. And even prior to the pandemic, we were working with other schools and they were seeing growth because a lot of the times people don't understand the ability. Number two, we want to build relatability. You know, a lot of times people don't understand why it's valuable to spend money in terms of Christian education. And you know what? I mean, I was never homeschooled, but I have family members and friends that homeschooled their kids. One of the things they said was that, you know what, the only reason why we were homeschooled was because mom and dad couldn't afford Christian education. It was very important to the family that Christian values, it wasn't on the side, right? It wasn't something that we tackled on the weekends. It was something that was infused. And so you want to be able to relate to that desire on the inside of parents, many of which need you to pull that out of them with step one, which is building the authority around it and talking to it and why it's important, but then being able to say, we understand, right? And that's why LinkedIn is a great platform because it really appeals to the kind of audience members that can afford Christian education. Number three, you want to share transformation stories. And you want to talk about families that came, whether they're Christian families or not Christian families, and how they're enjoying what you're doing. Have testimonials from teachers, what's happening in the classrooms. Have kids, you know, share what's going on and why they love what they do. And so we do a lot of that kind of marketing with our Christian schools so that they understand that allocating a budget towards marketing, especially in the digital space, is going to be most effective to help them grow, increase, you know, and show value. And then finally, provide value for parents to remember you. You know, a lot of our clients still want to make sure that enrollment is there, but really enrollment's not the priority for them. They want to make sure that the community understands what's going on and constantly seeing the value of what is being presented at the school, what the activities are, what are the value of the shared belief system that's being promoted. All of these things really help you, all right? And I think it's very valuable. All right, so let me quickly share the post. The post was, how often do you post content Well, unfortunately, not a lot of you are sharing and posting content. It looks like everyone is not doing it regularly. And so, whether you choose to work with digital consultants, we will ensure, of course, that content is being put out on a regular basis based on what I want to talk about next, which is the LinkedIn algorithm. And so that you can actually make sure that your school is actually being presented in the number one category in terms of where you're trying to reach. But at the same time, you know today that you can change that, because putting out content is what is so key in terms of being effective. All right. And so let's move into that right now. So what is the LinkedIn algorithm secrets to grow? What are those LinkedIn algorithm secrets to grow? Well, we've talked about a few of them today. And, part of our value proposition, right, is to make sure that you understand that working with a mid-sized firm like us allows you the opportunity to have that nimble approach to having an effective, tailored approach to working effectively on social media. But at the same time, we're large enough in the sense that we have the tried and tested results. And we have worked with bigger and middle-sized and small companies to help them in terms of being effective. Now, I'm talking about Christian schools, right? I don't want you to think that we're dealing only with, big brands. No, our heart here at Digital Consultants, especially in my area, which is the Christian school marketing area, we are very much working with Christian schools that either have just started, have been running for 10, 20 years, and anything in between. So it's very important that when you're on LinkedIn, you understand algorithms. And so part of the algorithm piece works as follows. Number one is, how many times do you post? And that was my question. How often are you supposed to post on LinkedIn? Well, did you know that it's not ideal for you to be flooding LinkedIn on a daily basis? In fact, LinkedIn recommends anywhere between 2 to 3 posts per day within 3 hours apart. Or I should say, not within 3 hours apart. And so if you're going to post 3 pieces of content, which is the maximum amount of content that you want to post, ideally you want to post in the morning, in the afternoon, and just before the end of work. And the idea behind that is that it's creating content that people are going to absorb, and it's going to be fluttered through people who actually are attracted to your kind of content within reasonable amounts of time. But if you post all 3 at the beginning of the day, well, that's not going to be helpful. And if you're posting 10 pieces thinking that it's all going to go out and LinkedIn is going to put it out at your own particular time, no, that's not the case at all. And so you can use platforms like Hootsuite, for instance, to sort of itemize and put them out. Even right now, not LinkedIn, but there are other social media platforms that allow you to sort of schedule your posts. But ideally, you want to make sure that it's going out at right times. Now, other parts of the algorithm that I want to share with you. Number 2, the LinkedIn algorithm is very sensitive to the content that you're promoting. Now, they have in 2023 introduced overlaid algorithm reading ability in terms of what you post as JPEGs or pictures, etc., videos, so that it can sort of pull words from a video or pull words from an actual text post that they'll sort of identify and help push it. So what you want to do in your posts, whether you're typing at the top, that free text in terms of the post, or whether it's in your actual picture content creation, video creation, maybe you had a selfie, a video, or maybe you took a video of a kid, and you're posting it, it will pick up keywords in terms of your audience. And so we want to know what those keywords speak to. And so we have a list of some of those words in terms of understanding Christian schools. And so we work with that with our clients so that they understand how to sort of utilize that kind of content so that it can be effective, in terms of being pushed to their right audience. And then the last thing I'm going to talk to you about in terms of algorithm is, sort of the et ceteras. So for instance, how long should a video post be in terms of being the most effective one? Sometimes you're scrolling and you see these long videos and you're like, oh man, I got to create long videos. Well, you'll be surprised the 2023 LinkedIn algorithm is not open to long videos. They're actually open to more shorter videos. And those videos would go anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes based on the 2023 LinkedIn algorithm. What about some of the things, for instance, hashtags? People love to put in hashtags. In fact, LinkedIn discourages hashtags. They don't want more than a maximum of 3 hashtags because they find it's not specific to their audience. They want good quality posts to push to their audience members, all 800 plus million users every month. And so they want to make sure that it's the right people that are watching it, right? Sorry, 800 million users. They want to make sure that it's the right content. And so you've got to be careful with that. And so, of course, part of our value proposition is we have done a lot of research in terms of the 2023 LinkedIn algorithm. We try to stay on top of that, in terms of if information comes out. Of course, in 2024, we sort of refresh at the beginning of January, understanding it, the content as we're working very diligently to help our clients like yourselves, for some of you, work through that. And so it's a very valuable opportunity to sort of make your content better. But as you can see, here are some free stuff that we've given you on the screen. Create content at least 2 to 3 times a week minimum to grow. For those of you that want to get started immediately, promote through personal page profiles. So sometimes you're going to have your post go through on your school. Well, take that post when you're on your personal profile and share it on your personal profile, because that's going to show the increase of sharing that information. And if you've got, a relatively smaller staff, encourage them to have some LinkedIn time every week to help promote some of that information. And then finally, comment on other networks. And so what I didn't share with you today was sort of how to do that, how to really get on top of sharing, start commenting on other people in the platform. If you comment on someone's post, it actually helps to promote your value to the LinkedIn application. And let me just quickly share this with you. As you're commenting in people's, other people's pages, like maybe some other Christian schools, or maybe some of your affiliates, for instance, your overhead organization that you're all a part of, your membership, or maybe the city in which you're in. This will actually create more synergies. As they see you're commenting, people that are on their pages will see it. And that in itself is great organic growth. And so these are the kinds of things that LinkedIn wants, because LinkedIn wants people spending more time in their app. And so you doing that would be very valuable. Okay, now finally, digital consultants, how can we help you? Well, finally, this is sort of our value proposition for those of you that are here today. We have a LinkedIn setup and starter training. This is a very, very special thing for us, because when we discovered LinkedIn in terms of its real value, we were focusing on Instagram only, Facebook only, we were moving into TikTok. And then we started to realize that LinkedIn has, a refreshed value. And we only started to see this over the last couple of years. I think it was 2021 when we first started to look into how LinkedIn was changing their algorithm and how it's actually helping small businesses, mid-sized organizations really be more effective. And so what do we do to help you with your LinkedIn starter package? Well, number one, we set up trainings, okay, to set up your personal and school LinkedIn profiles. These are group trainings where people can come in and get a little bit of understanding in terms of how to make sure the setup works. There's going to be things that you want to do and you want to change. And so it doesn't help that we own everything. And so we bring you into these kinds of trainings so that you're aware of it. At the end of the day, we can manage it completely ourselves, but really, we want to make sure that we empower you as the client so that you can make changes on your own. If you're up late one Friday night and trying to make some things change for the weekend. All right, content strategy to engage and grow community for school. This is very key. This is allowing us the opportunity to make sure that you're not just putting out posts, but that there is a specific strategy to your impact. For instance, right now, you might think it's too late to drive for September enrollment, but that's not the case at all. We always look at markers in terms of when when our audiences are looking in terms of enrollment of their kids. And so right now, as they're already sort of setting their kids up for September enrollment, some people are unhappy with things and they're looking forward to changing things for January enrollment. So things like that helps you to sort of separate yourself from just putting out a post of some kids painting in kindergarten class. We're being direct, we're being deliberate. But don't worry, we also post kids painting in kindergarten class. All right, overview of reading and analytics to make educated decisions. This is very key to us as well. We always want to bring you in. So we work together with you on your content strategy. However, at the same time, we spend on a monthly basis time to review the analytics, showing you the trajectory and the trends in terms of what's going on with your particular content and also what's going on in LinkedIn, so that if we need to pivot, we can do that together. Then we walk through various tools to engage and post. And so we are going to spend a lot of time with you in terms of helping you to understand, based on your availability, based on your willingness to do it, we will show you what works and what doesn't work. And so that when you're in the field, on your day-to-day, you can actually say, this is a great opportunity to take a video with my phone, take a picture with my phone, versus opportunities where we need maybe a more professional kind of approach, like for instance, a school play, not ideal with your phone. Maybe you want to invest, your school, have a proper video recording of it, and we can take snippets, put it online. It'll be more effective. How do you approach, events at school, and how do you, utilize LinkedIn to make that beneficial? So we talk about that. And then finally is really where the true value, in my opinion, is. It's those one-on-one coaching sessions on LinkedIn strategies specific for your school. Ladies and gentlemen, I know many of you are going to come on board with us and you've got a team. And so it's not really ideal that you necessarily have all of, only use us to be posting. You want to use us for strategy, right? And so that you can then take it to your team and have them run. And so those one-on-one coaching sessions really empower you and your team to actually be effective on your own. You'll utilize us in the future, especially in terms of all the other things that we offer. But that is where you'll find sort of the biggest bang for your buck. And when I was talking about analytics previously, algorithms previously, it's those kinds of discussion pieces that give you the heads up in terms of other competing companies. All right. So what will things look like after the package? You sign up for this and then you start doing it for a few months. What is it going to look like for you? Well, based on our own, interaction with our clients, our professional LinkedIn profiles with all critical and relevant details will be set up correctly. And that key term, set up correctly, is what's important, because sometimes we think because we filled some content on a page, that's going to be awesome. No, you need to do it based on LinkedIn's specifics, as well as not just their algorithms, but how they look to promote content. Number two, we'll have over 5 ways to post content on LinkedIn. That's right. It's not just videos and pictures. We'll show you how to be effective in terms of putting out content. Have you ever seen those polls that there are on LinkedIn? We help you to utilize information like that in its right strategy based on the algorithms used. Know how to read and digest analytics to make quick and effective marketing decisions. And so this, of course, is going to be a massive value for you and your team, as well as the strategic plan that we develop with you so that we can make sure that it's sharp and effective at the end of the day. You'll start to confidently build content based on your own school's value. A lot of people sign up for this package, and then once it's over, they feel like superstars. And that's the whole purpose of it. We want to help empower you. We want you to feel like a superstar. And so this will enable you to be most effective, especially as we're getting into the new school year. You want to make sure that you've got a strong imprint in the community that you have. Don't take for granted the client, your parents that you have today. They are still clients. They want to see the valued and continued benefit of building with you, their child's education. And LinkedIn and other social media platforms is a great way to use it. And then finally, you will now have a complete insight in terms of knowing the LinkedIn algorithm. And so, ladies and gentlemen, take an opportunity right now. This summer, we've reduced our price. It's usually $2,500. We're putting it out for $1,499, or basically $14.99. And this will be a great package to help you kickstart your social media effectiveness on LinkedIn. And so I want to work with every one of you on the call. I want you to pray about it. I want you to look at your budget, talk to your teams, see if this is an investment worth your school so that you guys can start to see an uptick, not just on enrollment, but specifically to start to see more and more parents come in, take school tours, talk about you, share information online about what you're doing. These are the kinds of things that we're going to help with. And so do me a favor, pull out your phones again. You can take a picture of that QR code, go to that site. You can put in the information even as I'm talking, and we'll give you more information. We'll set up a quick call. We can also shoot you a quick email in terms of some of the things I've already shared. And you'll find that our starter package is going to be an awesome, awesome opportunity for you to be most effective for this 2023-2024 school year on LinkedIn. All right. Well, hey, we're at the end, and I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's on the call. One last poll, if you don't mind. I want to share. I want you to sort of share with us what's the top marketing topic, or what marketing topics interest you. Every month we do these marketing seminars, and we think that it's a great way for us to sort of engage business owners, and so we want to sort of get in front of you more and provide better content. And so tell us right now on the poll, what marketing topic interests you the most. Thank you for getting started on that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our contact information, and I want to start tackling some of these questions. So if you've got to run, thank you so much. Let me take a look at some of the questions. So do I have to buy premium plan to do what you taught? Not at all. Not at all. We utilize for most of our clients, we utilize the free, the entry level LinkedIn, because LinkedIn understands, right? I mean, they use their own plans to actually promote their services. What we're doing is we're setting up our service so that you can utilize LinkedIn effectively. What LinkedIn is doing is basically the same thing, right? But again, they're more of a monthly cost. We do this one time sit down to help you and really get you sharp and ready to go. And then, of course, because you work with us, even after our training, you always have a connection with us in terms of asking us questions and, taking a look at some of our other services. So no, you don't need to buy the premium plan. And no, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We will send you a follow-up email because you put your email information in, and you will be able to get a copy of our summary notes for today. And then Janita wrote, curious if I'm your experience, based on my experience, I guess, schools use LinkedIn to recruit families more for admission or connect with young alumni. We have really only used it to list jobs. So that's where I was, or my team was back in the pandemic. We thought very much that LinkedIn was really only about hiring and applying for jobs. Well, in fact, LinkedIn realized that they have lost a really big segment in terms of how to be effective. So since 2020, they've been changing their algorithm to be more effective, to keep people in their app, keep people on the application, and also to start utilizing abilities to build synergies outside of just employment. And so that's why this seminar was very near and dear to our hearts, and why we continue to talk about it, because as we've sort of put this at the forefront for a lot of our businesses, it's helping them to think differently. One of the best things to note about LinkedIn today is that the demographic, the audience, are parents. Many of them are parents. They have a higher income threshold. They too are looking for thought leadership in the area of Christian education, education in general. And of course, if you're on LinkedIn today, you see people posting a lot of different type of content. And that's because LinkedIn is trying to become more of a social hub for professionals. And so you creating these kinds of synergies will bring different types of audience members to your page. And that's why I think this this webinar was a great idea, but also why our starter kit is going to be so valuable. Okay, and so I want to put that starter kit back up. Please, please, please reach out to us. Let's have a conversation. You know, we want to work with anybody and everybody that wants to succeed with the Christian education piece. Didn't have a lot of time today, but I could tell you about our own personal passions as a team. The founder, you know, my wife Jen, and why we have full force put you know, a very big segment of our business behind Christian education, because for us personally, this is an area that we believe God's going to start to grow in North America. More people want to put their kids in conservative, value-based belief system education, right? And they're seeing the value of it. And I'm not talking only about Christians, ladies and gentlemen, right? I mean, we've worked with clients and we have our own Christian schools that our kids are a part of. We have families that are not Christian, but they see the value and they're forking over, you know, admission costs, enrollment fees, you know, because they believe in it, and we believe in you too, right? And so, so thanks so much, everybody. If there's no other questions, that's it for us. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your Tuesday afternoon, and please be sure to share your information with us. We can't wait to get started with a discussion with you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. All right. Content marketing in the digital age. All right. We will. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. This is marvelous. All right.